Oh, hi there. Welcome out to my channel. So I've been talking about how you can get admission and scholarship to a world-class university like Oxford to study, maybe do your master's or PhD. So I've already done part 1 of this series. So part 1, I talk about why you need to apply to a world top-class university like Oxford and the preparations you need to do before even the application date opens or the portal opens. So in part 2 of this video, I'm going to talk about the application process itself. Please, if you haven't watched part 1, just pause and just navigate to the part 1. It's a very short video. Watch that video before you come back to this one. So as usual, like many universities in the Western world, the application is mainly done online. You do not fill any physical form or anything like that. So you go to the graduate admission website. What I'll do is I'll put the link to the graduate admission website below, and then you begin to fill the form, right? And on there is really good because they even have guidance per each question they ask you, per any detail they ask you to put in there. They have guidance as how you can actually go about it. And when you go there, they will actually display, once you select the course that you want to do and your college preferences, they will actually tell you the deadline. As I said in the previous video, usually for the graduates, they have 2 deadlines. The first one, the application always open in September, first or second week in September, and the first deadline is December, usually end of December. And then it closes. That's it. And some of the courses too, they will leave the application on the deadline to end of January or end of February. So make sure you are aware of the deadline, and I would really advise you, do not wait to the end. Do not wait to say, oh, I have more time to go. Do everything as soon as possible. That's why preparation is very key here. So once you know the deadline, on the form itself, they will ask you to put in your contact details. Make sure it's an email address that you check frequently. Email maybe you have on your phone, you set up on your phone that you can check, because they could send you messages, a whole lot of messages. Also with your application, wherever you are, if they need anything from you, if somebody submitted a reference and everything, they will send you notification. So you need to make sure that you have your email, active email, or email you check regularly. And also use a phone number that you have with you. I know sometimes in Africa people change their phone numbers anyhow. Make sure a SIM that's registered to your name, so in case you get lost, you can actually go for a replacement SIM or anything like that. It's really important they're able to contact you when they need to. The next bit of the application talk about putting your personal details in. So that's really straightforward. Your name, date of birth. Make sure wherever you put in the application, it matches your certificate, it matches your passport. You cannot put different names or move your surname to first name or the other way. It doesn't work that way. Please make sure everything is entered correctly. Your date of birth, your address. If you're using an address, a postal address, make sure it's a very good post box address where the owner checks frequently. I know majority of the things they do, they will hardly send you anything in the post anyway. Majority of the things they do is by emails online, so that makes it a bit easy. But all the same, make sure that the post box you use, the owner, and you can have access to it if you need to. So that's really important. Also, your personal details. They will need details of your degree, what courses you studied, what grades you got in each one of them, how your university grading system is like, right? Some universities use 0 to 4. Some will use just normal percentages, maybe 70%, 60%, whatever it is. All this. They need to know what the name of the university you attended, obviously. You need to know your work, if you've worked a bit or you haven't. Even national service is a form of work. If you've done any volunteer work, if you're involved with any leadership activities in your community, in your church, all this information they will ask you for. So make sure that before you go on there, you actually have the information ready. The most important thing on your application, I said in the last video, is your personal statement, your statement of purpose. Why do you want to apply to Oxford University? right? You need to talk about, they being a world-class top university with good teaching and the best teaching and research facilities. And then you need to talk about your own vision. What do you want to achieve in life? Maybe you want to come up, I don't know, as a top chemist to help solve a problem in your community, right? In terms of your career path, where do you want to go? Maybe you want to be a professor in the future. Maybe you want to go to the teaching field. Maybe you want to start your own business. They want a statement that makes sense. Statement that says this person is ambitious, this person is intelligent, this person is smart, this person wants to help his or her community, this person wants to make impact in the world. And therefore, if you are to give him the opportunity to study here, or if you are to provide him funding to study, it will be worthwhile. So don't forget that there are thousands and thousands of students around the world applying to the same university, applying to the same course. You need to stand out. If you don't stand out and you do any lazy work and do this thing, they will reject you. You won't get your admission and subsequently even get a scholarship. So it's really, really important. I said before, please make sure you write a very good personal statement, and if possible, allow 3 people, to go read through the personal statement for you as well. And if they possible, make suggestions. There are templates on the internet, guys, as I said, on the Oxford University website. Read it carefully, see examples on the internet, and that will help you actually frame your personal statement and make sure you do everything right. The next bit also is for some of the courses, they might have to do interview. So obviously, because of COVID also, interview is done via Zoom or Skype or whatever electronic means available to them. So they will ask you to indicate which days you'll be available for interview. Don't worry, prior to the interview, they'll send you email and give you options, days, times, and then you choose one. So if your course, actually, majority of the courses they will interview you. It will be based on pure your academic achievement and your leadership skills in the community and all other extracurricular activities you've done, plus your personal statements, right? But in case you need it for interview, you need to indicate on the days and the times that you'll be available, so that they can contact you if need be. They also need certified copies of your certificate from your university. During the application process, they will ask you to scan everything, your passport, your certificates, your other documentation, and submit every single thing online. They will receive that. They will ask you to get your university to send them a certified copies. So you need to work with your former university or the school you attended, the department, make sure they send it on time. Please note, everything got to be done within the deadline, including the references coming in within the deadline. You cannot go and give an excuse to say, oh, I'm very, very sorry, more or less, this is not coming in and that. And that's why preparation is really, really key here. From actually scanning your documentation and sending it to them, attaching it to the application, they also ask your university to send certified copies to them. Usually they want the university, if it's a transcript or certificate, the university to put their certified stamp on it, put it in an envelope, seal it, put a seal on the envelope so no one can tamper with it, and put their stamp on it, and then send them by post to them, so that they will use that to verify that the details you submitted to them were the correct details. So that's really, really important. And with this in mind, you need to make sure that you start speaking to your the department or where you attended university even before applying, to make sure you can get all the documentations ready. And the other bit I want to talk about is references. Usually they will require 3 references, and here this is really, really important. They will send emails to all the references asking them that this student had applied and is using you as a referee. Can you provide references? Usually they require an organizational email, right? So if you attended school like maybe KNUST in Ghana, or Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, they want email from somebody, a lecturer or a professor from that university, maybe with their name at a proper organizational address at knust.maybe gov.edu, right? a proper one. They don't want email address from Yahoo or Google, because they know that anybody at all can create one. You know, say, oh, this is this professor, that's that professor, and then send email from them to them, right? They don't accept that. So you need to make sure that that's why you need to do all your research to make sure that those you're going to use for references also have organizational email addresses. If you're struggling to have one, you can send them email, explain things to them, and sometimes what they will ask you to do is to get the professor or the lecturer to write the reference on a letterhead of the university, proper one, addressed to them, and then be put in the post and sent to them if they don't have organizational email. So you need to work towards all this to make sure everything is correct. Please note, they need to receive all the references by the deadline. So before you even use somebody as a reference, speak to them, explain things to them, what will be required from them, whether they will have the time and the means to actually make sure that they will do everything on time, so as not to delay you. Do not wait, because some of them, they might be attending conferences somewhere, they might be busy with research and that. And if you don't do things properly, you get stuck. You might have put all the hard work, and then one person will not be able to actually submit the reference for you, and then you get stuck, and all your hard work is really in vain. The system will also allow you to change a referee. So you put somebody's name as a reference, they are not providing the reference, you can contact them. You can go on the system, even after submitting an application, change it, use another person's name and their email there, and the system will automatically send email to them straight away and ask them for the reference. And the final bit usually is the payment. After filling the application, you got to pay, I believe it's £75 sterling. So you need to pay for the application. However, if you cannot pay for the application, you can actually write a letter or something like that, and then send it to the university to say, look, I'm from underprivileged background, I don't have the money to pay the fees. There's a process within there for you to follow, and if it's okay with them, they will just waive the payment of the application fee, and then that's it. You submit your application and everything is done. In the third and the final bit, I will talk about the funding and getting scholarship to study at Oxford. So I hope you join me in the third video. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to this channel and like the video if it was helpful. See you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.